Okay, we're going to pick up where we left off in section 2.4, which is finishing up with this particular example. So you'll see this one looks actually a fair bit like the last one. It's just, bigger. It's more complicated. So we've got a University of Louisiana. Half of the 48 math majors are receiving federal financial aid as follows. 5 had Pell Grants, 14 are in college work study, 4 had a TOPS scholarship, and then we've got some combining of things. 2 had TOPS scholarship and were in work study, and those with Pell Grants had no other financial aid. So there's 3 different sort of categories here, right? Subsets. There's Pell Grants, there's the college work study, and then there's the TOPS scholarship. So those are going to be my 3 circles in my diagram. So we're going to draw our diagram with the 3 overlapping circles. And I usually just label them what they're representing. So in this case, we have the Pell Grants, we have the work study, I'm just going to abbreviate it WS, and then we have our TOPS scholarship. And this is inside of our universal set. All right, so looking at some of these details, just like in the earlier one, the ones that just are these broad categories, Pell Grants, work study, TOPS scholarships all by themselves are not really good places to start. The good places to start are places where things overlap. For example, it says those with Pell Grants had no other financial aid. That's actually a really good place to start because what that's telling you is that the Pell Grant cannot overlap anything. So while we drew it this way, it's going to have zeros here, here, and here because it doesn't overlap. And then we also were told that there are 5 with Pell Grants, so we can put the 5 out here. That gives us a lot of information right off the bat by taking a look at this one. So we've already took care of that one, taking care of that one, and that one. The next one said 2 had TOPS scholarships and were in work study. So TOPS scholarships and work study is the overlapping piece over here, so that's a 2. So we've gotten that one taken care of. And then it says 4 had TOPS scholarships. So the TOPS scholarships circle, which is everything down here, there should be a total of 4. There's already 2 in the circle, meaning that there's 2 that are missing. And then the last piece of information is 14 in the work study. So this circle for work study has to be a total of 14. There's already 2 there, so I'm missing 12. The last piece of information, in order to get what's on the outside, comes from the fact that it says half of the 48 majors are receiving federal financial aid. So this universal set U is the federal financial aid. Half of the 48 would be 24. So there's 24 people that are represented in this diagram, and if you count up what's here so far, we already have 21, leaving you with 3 on the outside. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to answer the questions that are being posed to us. How many had no federal aid? So the no federal aid were the 24 that are sort of not represented in this diagram, right? 24 received federal aid, that's my picture. The other 24 didn't. They're doing something else, whether it's scholarships or whether they're paying for it or maybe, they're using some other kind of aid. We don't know, but they've got 24 of them. How many received more than one of these forms of aid? So the more than one of these forms of aid is the overlapping pieces, and there's only one overlapping piece. It's right here, right? It's the 2. So that would be 2. Federal aid other than these 3 forms. Okay, so the federal aid is the whole rectangle, and if it's not included in one of these 3 circles, that's the 3 on the side that received some other kind of federal aid. And then the last category says a TOPS scholarship or work study. So TOPS and work study would mean these 3 pieces. So I have 2 plus 2 plus 12 makes it for a total of 16.